Are you sick of the chewy bad bread from the supermarkets? Well, all you need is a no knead artisan bread. This is the recipe for you. To make no knead artisan bread with olives, we need 400 grams of flour. I'm using a 00 flour, but you can use all-purpose flour. 7 grams of dry yeast, which is 1 satchel or 1 teaspoon of dry yeast. 1 tablespoon of salt, 300 ml of water, so it will be a high hydration dough. And then I have 50 grams of pitted kalamata olives and 100 grams of pitted green olives. You can use more or less if you want, it's up to you. First thing we want to do, you can break your olives by hand, like this, or you just go with a knife. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make them small so they mix well with the dough, okay? Fun starts now. Okay, first thing we do is we pour the 400 grams of flour in the bowl. Now we put a tablespoon of salt and 7 grams of dry yeast. And we mix everything. So we have all the dries first. You can use a spatula, you can use your hands, you can use a fork, or you can just use a wooden spoon. Up to you. Now is the moment we add the water. I would say let's put half first and half later. Let's do half. Also need to activate the yeast. Now you want to add the olives. All the olives go inside. Now we pour the rest of the water. Now we mix. Now this is a sticky dough, but the best part about it, it's not difficult to manage because you don't have to use your hands. Your hands are nice and clean. With the spatula, you just need to quickly mix it. When do we stop doing this? We stop doing this when the flour disappears. So I'm not really kneading, I'm just mixing all the ingredients. You honestly need to mix it for about a minute or until the flour disappears. You don't want to see the flour. And as you can see, there is no flour left at the bottom. The dough is done. In less than 2 minutes, we have the dough done. Now all we have to do is to wait. So we cover the dough with glad wrap. I like to use glad wrap because I feel safer. You can also use a damp cloth if you don't want to use plastic wrap. Time is going to create the artisan bread for you. Now this needs to be out of the fridge at room temperature for 6 hours. After 6 hours, you will see it grows. You see the bubbles. And what you do after 6 hours, you put it in the fridge overnight. The day after, you take it out of the fridge, and that's when we cook the bread. It's the day after, and it's time to take the dough out of the fridge. And this is how it looks. As you can see, it's sticky. You know, we use lots of water, and as you can see, it's sticky, but it grew. Look how much it grew. It grew more than double, okay? So what we need to do now is to reinforce the dough, okay? So what we do is, let's wet our hands a little bit. Just want my hands to be a little bit wet. And we're going to get the dough out. Now use a timber bench if you can, a chopping board, or a marble bench top like the one I'm using today. The reason why I like to use a timber bench or marble is so the dough doesn't get stuck on it, okay? Now my hands are a little bit wet, not too much. What I want to do is I want to try and reinforce the dough. Okay, when I say reinforce, we fold, and then we fold again, and then we fold again, okay? I need a little bit of flour. Sprinkle a little bit of flour on the bench. Not too much. Here we go. We don't have to knead, but what I want to do is fold this. I just want to reinforce this bread. This is very easy technique. You don't have to be a bread maker. Let's try and do 4 folds maybe. Let's make a bowl. Right, where are you going, Olive? Let's make a bowl. And what I try to do now, basically what we did now, we reinforced the dough. See how nice it is? Very pretty. All right, what we want to do now, we reinforce the bread, put the bread on a baking paper, then we get the bowl, and we put a tea towel like that, and then we transfer the dough in there, in the baking paper. Close one side, close the other side, and let it rest for 2 hours.
1 hour later.
In 1 hour, this dough will be ready to be cooked. But what do you have to do now? Well, first, put the oven at 230 Celsius degrees. Fan force, please. Put it up. And what you want to do, you want to get a cast iron, a Dutch oven like this one, okay? This is a cast iron Dutch oven, and it's perfect for cooking bread, okay? If you don't have this, you can use a normal pot to make sure there is no plastic on it. But this will work fantastic. What you want to do, you put this in the oven for an hour. So this will become extremely hot.
1 hour later.
This cast iron has been in the oven for 1 hour and it's extremely hot. Very hot, okay? Look at that. Ready to cook. So before we cook the bread, this is what we need to do. Look how much it grew. See? Look how pretty it is. It grew so much, right? What we need to do now is to do a cross. The cross is not only for wishing, oh, all the best, my friend. Also, we don't let the bread explode when you cook it. And now, we're going to put this dough in the cast iron. Just put it in there with the baking paper. Just goes in. Fantastic. Now we're going to put the Dutch oven in the oven at 230 Celsius for 30 minutes with the lid on. We get the Dutch oven out of the oven and look how beautiful this is. Look at this bread. Look how nice. Look how beautiful. So the Dutch oven, of course, works as an oven. The steam from the Dutch oven have cooked the bread beautifully, cooked it inside. All we have to do now is to put it back in the oven without the lid so we can cook the top part. We can make this part crunchy, you know what I mean? So that's what we do now. Now we put this back in the oven without the lid at 230 Celsius for 15 to a maximum of 20 minutes. You need to keep an eye on it. When you see that it's golden brown on top, you take it out. This is what I wanted. Look at this wonderful loaf of olive bread. Can you believe this was so easy to make? It's very important to use the baking paper trick. The baking paper keeps the shape, the round shape, and it allows the bread to grow, as this one. Let's take it out like this. Ooh. Baking paper can go. Let's have a look at the bottom. Oh, look at that. Cooked to perfection thanks to the baking paper. Oh, yeah. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Look at it beautiful. Look at how beautifully it was cooked. Going nice and hairy. You have olives everywhere, crunchy and soft at the same time. Still very hot, guys. It's extremely hot, but I have to cut it. I have to have it now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Olives need some extra virgin olive oil. And now it's time to enjoy it. Crunchy and soft at the same time. My God, beautiful. Look at the details. Airy, and you have olives everywhere. Every bite will have olives. Crunchy on the outside, soft on the, spongy on the inside. Ah. Yeah. I love it. Thank you so much for watching this episode. No, you should thank me. This will change your life. I will see you in the next Vincenzo's Plate video recipe. E ora si mangia. Vincenzo's Plate.